How a man from Fresno, working in the rack house, became one of the best producers of engineer boots in the market. I'm talking about John Lofgren. Let's go through the story of the company and let's review one of the iconic engineer boots of his company. These are the engineer boots by John Lofgren bootmaker. But before to unboxing these boots, let's talk about the John Lofgren itself. John Lofgren is a guy from Fresno, California, that while he was working in the rack house selling vintage clothing, he met Japanese buyers that one of them offered a position for him as a buyer working for him and moved to Japan. He agreed with this and moved to Japan and started doing trips around USA and Canada buying vintage clothing. At the same time, he has the idea to have their own shop, and he started his own business aiming to vintage clothing and producing vintage clothing reproductions. While he was doing this, he developed the idea of produce boots, his own company, and start to gather the team to try to make the best possible boots in the market. He set the company back in 2010, and in 2012 he released the first batch of John Lofgren engineer boots. But this wasn't an easy trip, really. He has, as always he stated, he has two bankruptcies. The first one was, according to him, a poor business decision. When he was recovering from this and about to finish to pay the debts back in 2011, the earthquake and tsunami in Japan happened and he lost everything and need to start all over again. And instead to give up, he kept pushing and succeed and release his own boots, and the rest is history. He was 17 years in Japan and then moved back to Fresno, where he lived actually. Has his own, still his business in Japan, and he trip often or when it's necessary. But anyway, there are two things I want to highlight, because he always say, and I think are very, very important when you gonna buy a product, which are not common thing nowadays. The characteristics that he offer when he make his products. First one, the best possible quality. That's it's a cliche because many people say so. He looking for the best quality, but there's another thing that he say is ethical production. Ethical production. What's mean ethical production? He always bring two anecdotes that happened to him in his life. First one was when he was 21 years old in a trip to Egypt. He went for a tour, or was taken as a tour to a rag factory, and they saw kids working and producing that rag. That caused a deep impact in him. And the second event is happening in China. He was studying cultural anthropology and was taken to the factories for a tour, Chinese factory, and he saw the way and the way these people is treated and how the working conditions. And he said, never again, only ethical producers. They know everything where it comes from. They know everything how it's produced, that need to be done ethically produced. And everything, if we cannot get it, we're talking about the car box and the shoe bags or boot bags, everything, he cannot get it, make produce it for him. Everything is according to him, is the best possible quality that he can buy. Say expensive, that's why the boots are expensive. And the production, he tried to put together the best artisans to produce these boots. The quantity that I produce are not in really large quantities, which is I don't know, we put between the artisan products. I think it's very close to artisan products because it's not a mass production, but that gives that substance of that taste of artisan product that make you feel unique in a way. But anyway, let's unbox the boots, which is the most important thing here. These are the boots. How coming from? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you the model first to show you. Which is the model is LK003 Wabash Engineer Boots Shinki Hikaku Horseback Dark Brown in size US 12D. I haven't worn this. I haven't tried this yet, but I can tell you I tried before another pair, and I'm gonna tell you during the video because I'm gonna try these boots and tell you how this fit. But I have an idea because I tried the 11.5 and didn't fit. But the bags are made made in Japan, and a cloth is produced for him. But these are the boots. Then how or why I choose these boots? How or why I choose these boots? This is the first thing. When I do, if you know me, I'm really research on the boots always, on every product that I buy, always do my research and try to buy the best possible quality with a reasonable price. Then I jump into when I decide to buy an engineer boots, I jump into the research and start to research on which are the best quality. Most of the best quality engineer boots come from Japan, and there are exceptions. In terms of the boots that I like, in terms of boots I like, I was researching in the Americans, Nix and Wesco were the first choice, not Whites. Whites but the Nix, because I know how is the fitting, I know, and it was easy for me, but I wasn't really happy with the shape of the boot. I wasn't really happy. It was something that held me back to pull the trigger with the Nix boot, which was the first option. Then I started doing more research. I find out that a selection of brands that picked at the end was Creosote was the first one. It was picked my eye from the very beginning. I watched reviews, videos, and see how this guy work. It's a one-man production. He's doing everything, but has a downside. This boot. The boots I like it a lot. The leathers that I use, I really like it, but there was one problem. Is the cost was $2,000 or a little bit more, but put $2,000, and the waiting time 44 months. That means you pay in advance $2,000 and wait almost 3 years to have the boots. Not for me, not for me, not for me. And the one thing that has really good are custom boots, because the engineer boots has a problem, which is the fitting. Is the worst boot to fit, to get the right fit is the worst. Is the worst because having no laces make difficult to fit really well these boots. And the ideal is the custom boots. The other one that I look was a custom boot is Roll Club. The Roll Club grabbed my eye. I at the end didn't like it really well, the shape, but still long waiting times, looks like a really good quality. I'm not very into the shape of the Roll Club, and they were expensive as well. Then another put aside and cross off from the list, because imagine I paid $2,000 plus the taxes and waiting 2 or 3 years or 4 years for a boot. Looks like it's not the right decision. I think if you live in USA or live there, I think it could be something that you can consider, because this you need to go to the shop and they take the measures for you to do the best fitting boot that you can have. The third one was just in Japan, the clinch boots. The clinch boots even can be custom, and you need to go to Japan, to the brass shop to take the measurement. But you can buy yourself in there are some some shops in USA and UK that sell that boots. Are not easy to find, easy to get. You need to wait until are released, but were really expensive as well, 2,000. And there was one thing that don't like it. It was the flat toe box. Unstructured toe box is. I'm not really keen on that. I'm not really keen on that because they reminds me a lot of the cowboy boots, which I know the cowboy and it's not my style really. If your style, of course, I think a Royal Club and even the West Coast Mr. Lou are for you. But it wasn't my style. And the fact that the waiting time and the cost cross off from the list. The same with the cleans, or what they say. And then I consider another made in Japan as well. The Rolling Dub Trio was really nice wood, but was some concern with the fitting. And the shape wasn't completely what I like. The white to leather as well, that very good, and was one of my picks with the John Lofgren. And the Serros was another pick with in my list. I finished with those three boots, was John Lofgren, white to leather, and Serros. And the last one, Westco. The Westco, Mr. Lou, especially Mr. Lou, has a problem. I think it has a very narrow toe box, and for me, it's not really good choice. And the shape of the boot itself, I not really like it. It's not something that got my eye, caught my eye. Then I finished with three boots, who was John Lofgren, white to leather, and Serros. And because the size, because I was almost sure that I'm gonna need 12. The only boot in 12 was the John Lofgren. Even though I have, because I bought it online, I have a chat with the owner or one of the guys working in this UK shop website. They recommend 11.5. I was going around, going to all the forums, and no one tell you exactly. They say, but the common advice is go half a size with your Brannock. My Brannock, US Brannock, is 12. That's my Brannock. Is what it is. In matter of fact, if you want to know how are my other boots that I own, from Nick's last 55 is 11.5 US. Iron Ranger, the most common boot, 11.5. The mock toe from Iron Ranger, 11.5. White, 11.5. Westco, 11.5 with the Job Master. The Job Master has a wider toe box. That's our fit like a glove. What else? What other boots that I own? The Chippewa 11.5. The 1,000 miles 11.5. All my boots are 11.5 US. But I have my doubt with this. Then I decided to try 11.5, and 11.5 was my toes touching the toe box. Why? Because we don't have laces here. The fitting on the heel in 11.5 was almost perfect. Was a little bit difficult to go into the boot, to step into the boot was a little bit difficult, but at the end was a really good grip in the heel. But my fingers, when I walk in, is touching the toe box. Then I try once and say, this is not for me. And then I pick size 12. Because it's a video, now you see how this fit on me, how this would fit on me. I show you how this looks like. I think are really, really smart boots with any trouser, any jean, are very smart, and the color is fantastic. It's this dark brown, the brightness of the horseback is amazing. And now let's talking about the construction. It's Goodyear welt, has no stone welt, yeah, this is one of the difference with the other John Lofgren boots. The John Lofgren has storm welt always, and this has not. Look at the density of the stitching, it's really good, it's really clean. It's 270, it's 270, I finish here, 270 degrees. The sole is half a sole, our Vibram from USA. It's really good thickness that's gonna last a long time until you need to resolve. Are resolvable because are Goodyear weld. The hardware is from Japan, made in Japan. Okay, you can see the hardware here. The quality of the hardware is really, really good. It's really good and clean. The shape is not too bulbous and it's not shallow. It's fantastic. Looks like a shoe, really. Looks like a shoe. These boots are very elegant and very smart boots. The construction is triple stitch. I don't know if you can see it here. Oh, sorry. Triple stitch, all the way, triple stitch. Let's undo the buckle. See? Triple stitch. Fantastic. Has not the line like it has most of the some of the engineer boots, which I don't like that. I don't like that feature. But looks like is that feature is how it's vintage feature. It's part of the how it is. It's unlined, complete unlined. See again, inside here. 12D is unlined. It's really good thickness of the leather. Look at the thickness of the leather, and are not like a chromacell, but are pliable, are very pliable. Now I need to try. So I'm gonna try this. See here in this video how this fit on me. It really fit. Really, I don't know. I think are fitting really well. Okay, see, and they look very, very smart. Quality-wise, I think I own a lot of leather shoes and boots, and I think the quality is really, really good. It's really good. Of course, the test of the time, I'm gonna put the final note for to test the quality of this and how evolved the leather and how respond the materials to the use. But I think in the way the density of the stitching, the way it's stitching, the type of the leather, the characteristic of the leather itself are really good. The stitching of the Goodyear weld stitching is fantastic. Fantastic. I own most of my shoes. I have a large collection of shoes and can tell you this is a really good construction. The fact that it's resolvable. And the other thing is because it probably is going to be more easy to resolve this than a stitch down construction like Westco, because that was another thing that I take in consideration, because living abroad, I cannot send to Westco for resolve, and find someone to do the stitch down and resolve could be very, very difficult. And here there are really good cobblers that do Goodyear weld, fantastic. The final thought with these boots are worth it. I think are not the most expensive, are the good quality in terms of fitting, which is the main difficult. I can give you an advice in terms of when you're looking for engineer boots. Don't only look in the shape of the boot that you like. Look in the advice of the fitting, how fit that boot. And here, more than in any other shoes, you need to see your fit three-dimensional. You need to see the length, you need to see the width, and you need to see the instep, the height of your feet. It's very important, because the people who high instep, they find difficult to slip in this boot. In this style of boots, it's very, very difficult. Then you need to choose if you have a high step and it's wide. For example, this coming in just in D. If you have high step and it's a wide fit, you need to go for custom boots. or go to Wesco, which are more affordable, Nicks, which are more affordable, and you can have more house. Even you can go to the Nicks store and have the measurements, or take all the measurements to Nicks and have a boot that could fit perfect for you. Because what I found is boots is precisely the main problem is the fitting. Suffer a lot of slippage, or do not suffer slippage but be too short for you, or the wide is not wide enough, or the step. There is a video of Karl Muraski that complained how difficult it was to put the boot on. When I tried the 11.5, was very easy because the characteristics of my feet are very slim, and has low instep, and I have flat feet. The one thing it has this boot is good arch support, really good arch support. Which that why this is important in that, because reduce the slip. If the boot is a little bit or has a space in the toe box, if it's really flat, the boot's gonna tend to your foot gonna tend to slip toward the front of the boot, and you're gonna have more slippage in the heel. Then be careful when you pick your boots, not just because you like it. You can try on eBay. There are some affordables. I never find a size for me because I'm 11.5 or 12. Probably if you buy 11.5, probably I'm gonna be in trouble. I suppose, unless it's double E or E. Sorry, unless it's E, or gonna be need 12 in this style boots, always. Because 11.5 didn't fit. That is the real thing. Is my foot go inside, but didn't work for me. I touched the toe box, and that maybe at the beginning you don't feel like it's gonna be a problem, but when you start to walk in, it become a problem. That is the best advice. Not just looking at the price, look in how this boot potentially gonna fit on you. If you are able to afford for a custom boot, that's the best fit for you. That's gonna be the best. And you don't have a problem, because I see many comments in the web, in different forums, that people sold the boots, or they don't use because they don't fit properly, or has too much slippage, or are too short. They fit well in the heel but are too short, or too wide, or don't, or is suffering to step into the boot. Some people advise use bags, these shopping bags, or plastic shopping bags to slip. I think it's not the right thing to do. If you need to use that kind of the measures to step in the boot, to step into the boot, that is not your fit. Even if you try to stretch it, people to stretch the boot to make more, but realistically, is not the right thing. The right thing is from the very beginning, go into the boot, and could happen two things: or we're going to be too short for you, or you're going to have the right space. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please consider subscribe, and see you in the next. Bye.